Right, good evening and welcome to the Amateur TV Net. I think my colour balance seems a bit off today, but anyway, we shall press on. So welcome everyone and Merry Christmas for 25th coming up very soon, so I hope that everyone has a good Christmas. Watching this evening is Mark VK3PI via RF. Mick VK3CH, who unfortunately is having difficulty getting into the repeater with the new frequency change, but I'm sure that'll be sorted out very, very quickly. And John VK3JCO all checked in, and there are other stations watching. We've got a few on YouTube, not too many yet, but hopefully the numbers will creep up. Got a few things this evening. Not sure whether everyone knows, but anyone that's got a Hydes transmitter and a Hydes receiver, the remote control for the Hydes receiver, if you press the power button, it'll actually key up the Hydes transmitter. So rather than going into software or using a hard switch or turning it on from scratch, as I think Clint VK3CSJ does, just press the power button and it'll key up the Hydes transmitter. That's the remote control for the Hydes receiver, if you have both. And that was brought to my attention some time ago by Jeff VK3GE, so that might be useful for some people. Also, I'm going to give a very, very quick rundown on the DJI Action Pro camera. That's that one there. And the DJI Osmo 3, Osmo Pocket 3. I'm not going to do a big rundown because all these there's lots and lots of YouTube videos on these cameras, but I'll just give you a very brief rundown of how they can be used in the shack or maybe on mad days. So there we are. So first up this evening will be Peter VK3BFG, followed by Steve VK3TTF. Steve will put it across to Richard VK3VRS and Richard back to me. And you can watch this net via RF, which is the way we like it, or via VK3VRS's YouTube feed or Discord feed. So lots of ways to watch it, or you can watch it at your leisure on the YouTube feed when it's been saved by Richard. So Peter, if you're ready to go, I'll put it across to you. So I don't see your splash screen up just yet. So everyone, please switch across to RTV1 right now, and I'm sure Peter's got lots of information on the test frequency change of RTV2. So take it away, Peter.
Okay, I think we've got audio there. Good evening, everyone. I'm Peter, VK3BFG, and I got caught out then. Sorry about that. Anyway, a Merry Christmas to everyone. We've got Christmas coming up, and I think another year's gone, just like that. So I hope everyone has a good time, and that Father Christmas comes to you on the 25th of December. I'm very hopeful. I think there's a fair chance. I've been a good boy all year, so hopefully I may do well on Christmas Day. Okay, we've been doing some tests on 1245 and 1253 just to see that those two frequencies are going to work as far as RTV is concerned. My concern was that there are adjacent channels basically, and that a descent would occur. Well, it probably does a bit, but it looks as though it's going to be tolerable. At this stage I only know of one station, that's Mick, VK3CH, who's been disadvantaged by the shift because his amp is not tuned for that. And we've been in communication with Bert Mod about that, and so has Mick. We'll see what happens. If the mod is relatively easy, we'll probably do it here. But if it's putting flakes on and that sort of stuff, well, maybe the amp's got to go back to Bert. But anyway, I'm sure Mick will sort that one out, and perhaps there may be others that need a bit of a tweak of those amps. Bit of a shame they're narrow band things. It's pretty easy. Well, I'd say it's pretty easy, but it's easy enough to design an amp that's got a wide enough bandwidth to cover all of 23 centimetres. So yeah, anyway, they are what they are, and they're pretty good amps anyway, that's for sure, and the work from Bert is really first class, so we shouldn't be too critical of that one. As far as the channels are concerned, if you look at the draft band plan, it calls for those two frequencies, that's 1245 and 1253, and there's a requirement on those two channels for a maximum of 7 megahertz each. Currently we're running 4 megasymbols as our symbol rate, and that equates to a bandwidth of about 1.3 times that, so we're well within the 7 meg allocation. But if you look at the two frequencies and the fact that they're 7 meg wide, there's a little bit of a guard band between the two channels, and I've been asked about, well, what do we do if we're on analog? Well, the general process is exactly the same as what it was previously. You'd run a frequency of 1249, which is right in the middle, and your maximum bandwidth would be 15 megs, and that would keep you within that channel. And that's exactly the same as what was on the original two frequencies, and both low and high, where if you wanted to run FM, the FM centre frequency was right in the middle there, and the bandwidth previously was 18 megs, but now it's 15, and that's no problem really. As I understand, the 905s can be wound back to whatever, and if anyone's other kind of FM exciter as well, it's fairly easy to wind those back. You just got to drop the audio back a bit, or the video level back a bit. So yeah, that's basically the situation there. If you want to run analog, 1249 with a maximum bandwidth of 15 megs. GT media, well, we've finally come to the end of that, and they've turned out like so. We've got a couple of LEDs for channel 1 and channel 2. We've got a LED there for power, and we've got a LED there for key up, and they're both the same. And you can see here we've just got the guts of the GT media sitting there, and there's two other PCBs in here to do the smarts of changing the channel, detecting a signal being there, and also putting up a signal report. Unfortunately, the signal report's pretty bad actually. it's just a little weeny bar and some writing, etc. Very much like the kind of thing that comes up when you first open up a channel on some of these sat boxes. And that's about all there is on the GT media. But at least, yep, they're all operational, and I've saturated them in terms of time, and them running day and night, both of them, and they all work well. So thanks to Steve TTF for his software using the dreaded C, but at least I could follow the trend. Once I saw the program that Steve's done, you can follow it pretty well. So it's just all the protocols to see that a bit of a nightmare as far as I'm concerned. But there it is. Over here I've got one of the receive systems out of RTV, and I'll show you that. I'm not sure that you've actually seen an actual one, or maybe some people have and some people haven't. So just stand by and we'll bring the camera around and show you. And we'll just zoom in a little bit. And I'll show you the top and bottom. This top part here, you can see that. They're the 3 dB couplers that, I don't know whether they come out of Tullamarine or Essendon, but Neil 3BCU gave them to me a long time ago. And there are 4 of them, and they're very high quality 3 dB couplers. So we did have some active couplers there trying out, but really the problems there, the theoretical gain that you were getting was not really there because you're just amplifying the noise with the signal. And it turned out that these passive ones work the best. And they just sit on the top of the box here. This is a hello box in there. Again, we've taken the bits out of the hello box that sits in there with some PCBs to detect the signal, and also to put up the signal report. And then we've got the down converter here so just looking at the back here, we've got a DC blocker here because turn that off. So I've got a DC blocker here because I've not been able to turn the DC off. You go into the programs and you turn them off, and then you find that it's still there. So anyway, we've got a DC blocker, and that's basically the DVBS input, and then the antenna comes around here to there, and that's then through the down converter, and the output comes here and into the domestic port. So the signal is coming in via the 3 dB coupler into the down converter, then coming out on channel 29 here into the domestic port, and the polling is just between those 2 ports. I call that channel 1, I call that channel 2, and we just poll between channel 1 and channel 2. And then we've got a double-decker power supply there for the DC. So that was operational on 12:55 up until yesterday, and I brought it back here to bring it down to 12:53. So yeah, that's a hello box, and the other The other receivers are very similar. They sit on a down converter, and there's the satellite box on the top. So there we are. So well done to Steve for the very nice little bit of software there. We fixed up the GT media. We had a little bit of a work through with all of it, but eventually we've got there. So they're all operational now, which is great. So we've got them working. So I think it's over to Steve now, 3TTF to transmit. This is VK3BFG in Montana South. Over to you there, Steve.
Hello all. Yes, Merry Christmas. It's that time of year again. It seems to come around very, very quickly each year. I think the last 6 months feel like about 2 weeks. So yeah, the year's gone very, very quickly. So hope everyone gets a good break, enjoys their time with the family or whoever they're spending time with. I know for us, a bit of time with family and going camping. Already went away for a test run earlier in December, but we're going camping, I think in a few days we'll be going away. So that's our sort of holiday over to the new year. So that should be really good for us. For updates and things for me, not a lot of updates. Christmas and prep and all that sort of stuff and getting ready for camping is taking up a lot of time at the moment, so I haven't done much stuff in the amateur radio space. But yeah, thank you very much, Peter. It's really good that we've got some at least backup boxes right now, but I think maybe once the frequency changes and things like that we're going through at the moment have sort of settled down a little bit, definitely worth trying one of those on one of the inputs, just to make sure for legitimate reasons. It really actually works up at the RTV. As we know, sometimes things go a bit wobbly once they move up there. So to actually give it a good test, that would be really good as well, just to see how it goes. And yeah, I know the signal report is so. I think hopefully it does the job. I don't believe there's anything more in the way of information we can really just pull up easily on those. So that's just what it is, unfortunately. But yeah, at least it's got something. So for me tonight, really, after all of this, we did actually go into the city last night to have a look at some Christmas lights. So I'm going to chuck some of that on. I'll play this video. This was actually a 12 Days of Christmas thing that's actually on at the moment. So this is the 12 possums playing, 11 lizards leaping, and these are all located around Melbourne, so you can actually go to all the different sites. We did quite a few kilometres doing this. 10 wombats ringing. I'm just going to keep ringing these out as they come up, so everyone knows what they are. But yeah, did quite a bit of walking around the city last night looking at some of these lights. Thought it might interest a few people, so we'll chuck this on. I think the next one is 9 tree frogs gifting is this one. This one was outside the Immigration Museum. This is actually probably the furthest away from all of them, that one. This is 8 koalas cuddling. So there's a few different displays along here. Some of these, like this, is located out at the front of a parking complex. Some of them are just out the front of buildings. You can see this is just on a balcony. So this one is 7 emus eating. 6 platypuses paddling. I need to make sure, some of these are a bit of a tongue twister, make sure I say them right. 5 kangaroos. I think it's pretty obvious, everyone can see where that one is, outside Flinders Street Station there. So that's a pretty good one. That's right at the end of Elizabeth Street, so really easy to spot. And this one is 4 dingoes dancing. It'd be nice. Some of them had a little bit of animation, but most of them were just static sort of LED neon sort of style displays. This is 3 pink galahs. I think the next one is 2 cockatoos. There we go. Yeah, so that was a good bit of a treasure hunt around the city last night, and kookaburra in the gum tree for the last one there. So yeah, that was a good little hunt. But after that, we actually went around to down the South Bank sort of Crown Casino area, and there's this light show running at the moment. I'm not sure how long it goes for. We were there sort of for 15-20 minutes, and it seems to go for at least that long, but runs I think straight through every night. So there's I think 3 sort of banks, so it's the same displayed at each one. So long as you can find a little spot, you can get in and see that one pretty easily. So it's just all along South Bank at the front of Crown there. And then we headed up to Fed Square, and there's the main Melbourne Christmas tree all lit up. This seemed to be about a 4 or 5 minute show, just going through and doing some effects on the tree with some music and things behind it. Not a bad little watch. Sit there and have a look at that one. I think the only chance, if you're not going in tonight, and it's getting a little bit late with the net on now tonight, I think tomorrow night, obviously it'll definitely be on, but I think it's all running through to at least New Year's. So if you're around Melbourne, you might be able to still head in and see some of these things going for quite a while yet. I'm not going to play the full 4 minutes of this, but the next one, just Flinders Street Station, also all lit up. So all looks quite nice at the moment in Melbourne. Good for a little walk around, but definitely the little treasure hunt on the 12 days of Christmas was good. But yeah, even if you can just get to Flinders Street and Federation Square for the tree, and around for the little light show at the front of Crown there, yeah, good little night out. Fills in some time quite easily. So that was sort of a good night out. I think that's really it for me. I don't have really anything else to add, as I said. So I think I'll be heading over to Richard in a little bit. So I'll just sort of close things down, put an out picture up, and I'll hopefully catch up with you all in the new year. Again, have a good one. Yeah, see you soon. Bye.
Get some audio. Hello. Welcome everybody. Thank you for everyone that's participated so far. Yeah. As you can see, it's very Christmassy. I don't have a lot tonight. It's just basically me celebrating Christmas because yeah, my Christmas present arrived today, so I'm pretty happy about that. Yeah, it's my full outdoor barbecue area. So I thought I was going to catch the big guy, but I seem to have missed him. But anyway, I think he's flying around somewhere. I haven't seen exactly where, but I have heard that he is actually delivering presents. the early gift presents, the ones that are big ones, that take up all the room. But yeah, so if anyone hears the noise or sees anything, yeah, you know he's out there. And yeah, got to thank the big guy for dropping off my my big barbecue. I'm sure I'll have many enjoyable barbecue and probably a few beers while I'm there as well. So here's to you, mate. Yeah. Now I'm just testing this microphone again because I I dropped it and I thought, oh no, I thought I'd broken it. But it actually automatically turned off, and that's why I couldn't use it last week. But I don't know what I've done with my controls because, yeah, that's not working or doing anything. I can see my slider not working, so I don't know what's going on there. But anyway, I'll have to look at that. I didn't have enough time to check that out. So yeah, all good, and I want to just wish everyone a happy and safe Christmas and hope that Santa does visit you. Like he dropped off the barbecue to me. By the way, it was 2 pallets worth of stuff, so, and it's outside and I've got to put it all together now. So that's what I'll be doing tomorrow afternoon when I finish work. I'm still working because I've only just started the job. I'm yeah, don't have much annual leave, but I am managing to take a week off in the new year, so that'll be good. Yeah, and I'll get stuff like barbecues and stuff done, and hopefully get away for a little bit. That'd be nice. Any reports on the microphone would be great. As you remember, it's this one here. Thanks Clint for telling us all about this microphone. I don't know if you can see it, but anyway. So yeah, very good. Talking about Clint, I might just run this first, and then I'll be back.
Did you know that a video edition of the WIA news broadcast is screened here? VK3RTV Channel 1 by Clint VK3CSJ, every Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m, repeated Sunday evening at 8 p.m.
And there we go. Yes, so I don't miss too many of them. I do miss a few, but then often I catch it in the afternoon or the evening, and very rarely do I miss either session. Don't always report in though, Clint, because as you know, especially this time of year, I'm very busy. Anyway, talking about Clint, I do believe he has checked in, and so I'm going to hand it over to Clint. So I'm going to go to the test pattern, and then you can take over, Clint. Anyway, everyone, thank you for everyone viewing. Just so you know, we've got 7 viewers on YouTube, and we have 3 on Discord. So, oh yeah, Discord. So everyone, this side, that's the Discord. Like I said, I might do a session on Discord in the new year, just so people know a few of the features and make sure that they know how to actually get on. It's very, very handy to have, and in fact I'll be able to watch Clint's broadcast of the WIA via Discord while I'm in the bush, so that's going to be very, very handy. So yeah, anyway, to all, enjoy, have a very safe Christmas, and look forward to seeing you early in the year. And just remember, keep an eye out for the big guy. I'm sure he's floating around somewhere, and yeah, he'll bring you all your presents. Thank you all, and see you next year.
Okay. Well, it still took its royal time, Neil. I had the transmitter going all during Richard's over. So the transmitter was going. All I had to do was put power on the PA, and it was instantaneous signal transmission. But it's still like I actually activated, put the power on the PA just before Richard dropped off. But still took its time for the repeater to kick on. Anyway, but I'll still implement that idea that you suggested, Neil, to have the power on and just the little hides unit running. So just to save that little bit of time there anyway. Still haven't been able to find the remote control. I don't know where that is, but anyway, I thought Peter might have mentioned the problem he had last week with the HDMI signal dropping off intermittently, and I remember suggesting that it might have been just a dodgy HDMI cable. I think that's what he found was the problem, actually. So, but he didn't mention anything about that in his first transmission. But nevertheless, he's got it working nice and well, which is really good. Yeah, I was running a bit late tonight. My family down the other end of the property here at the main residence had a lovely dinner of ribs. I think that's what they call them. Anyway, they were very tasty. So, but I got back here just on 8 o'clock. Anyway. What else? Yeah, that video you showed, Steve, was very good. Nice quality, and all the those coloured displays were quite interesting. But it must have been one hell of an effort to chase down all those displays. I don't know what the idea was behind all that, but anyway, that's that's the sort of thing Melbourne gets up to, I guess. Christmas tree looked all right too. Yeah, but no, not much Christmas happening here. There'll be a roast dinner on Christmas Eve, Christmas night, but that'll be it. No Christmas trees around here. No, I just got a couple of Christmas cards, which was nice. Anyway, nothing much else to report on really, but I thought at least I'd come up and, as Richard is saying, have a happy and Merry Christmas. And I'm not sure why Richard, you went to drink from a cup there. I don't quite understand the symbol of that. As Steve pointed out, Mr. NF, that the audio sounds good. Actually sounds mightily nice. But yeah, just a bit of lip sync issue with the system, same as last week. Everybody else is nice and fine. Anyway, I think that's about all I really have to say. I've got 5 weeks off now, so the idea here is to try and clean up things and get things sorted out, work on the antennas, work on the dome, and yeah, so I suspect that the 4 or 5 weeks will go pretty quick. Yeah, so I think that's about it at this stage of the game. So cheers to everybody, and enjoy your holidays, enjoy your camping there, Steve, and we'll catch you all perhaps next Tuesday. So Merry Christmas to one and all. QSY to R2V2, where Neil and the rest of the team reside. Cheers, everyone. Take care.
good if I got onto the right channel. Okay, thanks for that, Clint. I think the reason for Richard drinking from the cup is to move his head away so you could see Santa there running around delivering the presents. Anyway, I did say I was going to talk about the DJI Osmo 3 and the Action Pro 5. Just a very quick rundown, seriously quick because there are a lot of videos on YouTube. So this is the Osmo 3 with the little gimbal, and I'll just fire it up if I can find the right button. Okay, is that it? Yep. So this is the Osmo 3, if I can just work out how to drive it. With these cameras, they're very wide angle, so not really probably suitable for shack use, but certainly really useful for mad days. Better than taking these really big camcorders like over there. The camcorder's there. If I can, the gimbal's taking control. Anyway, so that's the DJI Osmo 3, and down here, if I switch across, will be the Action 5, which is even wider angles. That's the Action 5. So some people might find these cameras useful. This is like a GoPro, and not so much for shack use, I think. Now the Action 5 has got webcam output, which is UVC format, in other words USB-C or USB format, and also it'll do HDMI out. It'll do native HDMI, which is really good, whereas the Osmo 3 has to go through an adapter to convert it to HDMI. So that's the Action 5. Some people might find these useful for shack use, but I find it's a very, very wide angle. But these are going to be great for mad days, and very, very easy to use when you're setting up all your gear. As Richard and Mark do, they can basically strap it to their body if they like, and do all the videoing without a humongous camera sort of getting in the way. So that's those cameras. If you need more information, just look on YouTube. The information's everywhere. So people may find that interesting. Okay, now next on will be John VK3RTV. He's the only other station RTV2. So if you get ready, John, I'm on S unfortunately, so it'll be a clunky cut over. I forgot to go to T. So after you're finished, John, back to me. So take it away, John VK3RTV.
Good evening everyone, John VK3RTV in Williamstown. I haven't got too much tonight either, so we might be finishing relatively early, but anyway, I've been mainly trying to get my IDES transmitter working again with not a lot of success. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I've worked out that once I turn the power up a little bit too much, it stops working, comes up with a no video box. So I think it's still related to that amplifier. So I'm going to have to pull that out. What I will do is just to use a process of elimination. I'll use one of the little amplifiers, the Chinese amplifier, and I'll need to use the bump converter for that to get that up to about 30 volts to run that. and I'll see whether the high desk works okay with that. Similar to what I did, that's what I did just for the bench testing of the Portsdown 4 that I was playing with. So it's got the converter there for 30 volts, so I can just continue run everything on 13.8. So that's mainly what I've been doing. I did talk about the Icon receiver I was working on. I've ordered some transistors, so I'll have a go at that when I get a chance. Hopefully it's one of those that's failed. What else? Oh, Neil. Timely that you talked about the high desk remote control. I wanted to get 1253 megahertz DVB-T receiver working, and I've got the high desk receiver. So I plugged that in, but I couldn't find the remote to program it. And it took me a long time to work it out. I finally found this remote that doesn't have a name on it, and that didn't work. But then I found the installation manual for the receiver, and it showed 3 different types of remotes, and this was one of them. So I had to pull it apart and clean up the inside and get that one to work again, so I could program the receiver. So I programmed that. That all works well. So if anybody's looking for, it's not a particularly cheap option. That's basically, you can see in the background there, I've just got it on a cheap CFT screen and the high desk receiver. So that's all that's really required. You probably need a preamp if you want to receive the repeater. So yeah, just the point I was making about that, Neil, is I noticed yours has got high desk written on it. So very good idea when there's no brand on your remote control. So I'll do that, and I won't lose it again. What else have I been doing? That's probably about it. The high desk transmitter certainly has been giving me a few problems, so hopefully I can work that out soon. Interestingly, just for everyone's information, I went onto the website today, and there's a new website. They've still got a link to access the old website, which has got all the amateur type equipment on it, but the new website doesn't have that. So I'm not sure whether they're planning to get out of the amateur TV space or not. It looks like they're concentrating on drone video. So it'd be interesting to see whether we can still get access to transmitters and receivers. I think that's pretty much all from me tonight, so a fairly quick one. Just want to wish everyone Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and we'll hopefully see you all, or you'll see us back again in 2026. So I'm not sure whether there's anybody else here on RTV2 tonight, so I'll put it back to Neil. So 73s everyone. I'm on back on my DATV Express DVB-S2 Neil. So I'll just get something to run here, and I'll drop off. So good night to everyone.
Right, thanks John, and hopefully you'll get your hides going. I've actually had that problem occasionally. I think I found it was the HDMI connector, so I doubt whether the amplifier would cause that problem. Now, you sent me an email earlier today regarding information for a mixer and a parallel oscillator, and I'm not sure whether you wanted that for a transmitter to up convert to 1200 megs, or you wanted it for a down converter, because the mixer for the down converter is different for the mixer for the transmitter. So the one I sent you is if you're going to build up an ATV transmitter up converting a modulator. If you want the information on the down converter mixer, it's a different mixer. It's more for receive, that one's more for transmit. So thanks for watching everyone. We've got 13 watching on YouTube, that's good. I suppose a lot of people are out shopping and doing other things, they've got other things to do rather than watch the amateur TV net. So once again, Merry Christmas to everyone. Thanks for watching. Now I don't think there's anything else. All good. And that one, that hides, that remote control, I actually got that off Peter, and he put the hides label on it. So you can thank Peter for that there, John. 73s everyone, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week, just before New Year. Cheers.